Oh yeah, I'm talking about the goat, the true goat. What y'all want to know? This is one of the goats. One, the shooting goat. Okay, how about that? Y'all take it with you. Take it with however you want to take it. Take it to your mom.
And Wilt, Kareem, and Jordan as players with multiple scoring titles, MVPs.
Multiple.
Oh, and rings. Last night, he had 11 three-pointers, giving him 12 career games with at least that many. All other players in NBA history combined have 14 such games. He's hit 63 three-pointers in his last 5 games. And he's heated up as the season's gone on. Since the All-Star break, he's at 21 games with at least 30 points. That's the most for a player after the break since Kobe Bryant had 22 in 05-06. Max Kellerman, would you say Steph right now is the most dangerous player heading into the playoffs?
No, I wouldn't. I was tempted to say it's Damian Lillard because of Lillard's history
slap the shit out of you,
coming
Max.
through under pressure. He does a pretty good approximation of Steph under normal circumstances, and a better Steph than Steph when it matters most in low.
Max, I will slap the shit out of you. But continue on.
Late and close games, and I acknowledge Steph used to choke in the finals. I'm sorry, people don't want to put it that way, but that's what it was. He, greatest half-court offense of all time. 4 minutes and 22 seconds, a 73-win team, scored 0 points. 0. But he hit some big shots against Toronto last time seen in the finals. No, I'm not going to say Damian Lillard instead of Steph. I'm not going to say Steph. The answer is the guy that held them scoreless in the fourth quarter in Game 7 at home with the fate of the universe on the line, and that would be LeBron James. LeBron James is the most dangerous player when it matters most. If that weren't the case, I'd be sitting here saying James Harden's the best player in the league. But he's not. You know why? Because in the regular season, LeBron James is just as good as anyone else. And in the playoffs, he's twice as good as anyone else.
What kind of dope you on, bro?
But see, Max, it's different this year. We have the play-in tournament. We have one-off situations.
Tell him.
And while I would argue LeBron's one of the greatest playoff performers of all time, in a one-off, one-game situation, you do not want to see Steph Curry coming into your building.
Tell him again, you do not want to see the light-skinned motherfucker, pretty Ricky ass nigga coming into the dance and take your bitch. You don't want that? You don't want no smoke like that?
Especially don't want to see him when he's this hot. And so while I think the Lakers are making it into that top 8 because I don't see them losing twice in a row at home, I am really concerned when Steph Curry comes in a one-off situation. The Warriors are a flawed team. I don't think they're making a run in the postseason. In a 7-game series, maybe Steph gets white hot once, twice, 3 times. Probably doesn't overcome. But, man, watch out at Staples Center next week if that's the way that goes down.
Yeah, Wendy, I see it the exact same way as you. With Steph Curry, you don't want to see him in a one-game playoff scenario. I mean, we saw what this guy did on Saturday against OKC. He dropped 49 points in 29 minutes. And since April 1st, the guy's averaging 37.5 points a game. He's hit 136 three-pointers. The next closest person is 53s less than that. So, I mean, Steph is capable of these huge outbursts offensively. And so when we start talking about the expectations that we have for the Golden State Warriors, and we look at what Steph is doing right now, I mean, this is the guy that nobody wants to face early on in the playoffs because of what he's capable of doing.
Well, nobody, Wendy, you'd be right about it, and you'd be right, Chris, if it was a one-game play-in. But we know if you're 7 or 8, it's not a one-game play-in. It's 2. So, yeah, Steph Curry or Damian Lillard could bounce the Lakers in that first game. Then the Lakers, you think, are also going to lose a one-game set to one game to the Grizzlies or Spurs? It ain't going to happen. Not when they have LeBron James. He'll never let it. And then they're going to start to get into playoff series. And you know what? Jazz and the Suns will be scared. You know why? Lakers have no earthly business competing with them the way their season's gone. But we all know they have LeBron James. He's better than everyone else. And I want to read something to you guys real quick. Kevin Durant in that finals against LeBron when he was on the team with Steph and Clay and no one else had a chance to win, went for 43, 13, and 7 one game. And I tweeted this at the time because that was amazing. Oh, my God, KD's so good. In those same playoffs, I just want to read you some lines that LeBron had. 46, 12, and 5. 44, 10, and 8. 45-9-7. This is in the same playoffs. Not in his career, in those playoffs.
Yeah, it's fucking LeBron James, bro.
42-10-12. I'm not done. 46-11-9. Not in his career, in those playoffs. 43-14-8. 42-10-12. I'm not done. 46-11-9. 51-8-8. He did those in the same playoffs. He is the most feared, he is the best, and he's the scariest heading into the postseason.
Yeah, I think LeBron has had some of the most impressive series in the history of losing teams. If you go back to the 2009 conference finals, he had one of the greatest performances for a losing team ever. 2015 finals, he arguably should have won the finals MVP. It's hard to do that as a team that loses in 6, but he arguably should have won it. And then after Durant came to the Warriors, he averaged a triple-double in one of the finals that he lost to him. There's no doubt he's a beast to overcome. The difference, Max, is that in all those situations, he was 100% healthy. I just don't know where he is right now. Now, in a week, I may completely agree with you. But right now, when you're asking me this, I just got to see him play tonight. I got to see how he looks coming off this injury. He's never done this before.
Yeah, it's a lot of show and prove with LeBron James in terms of him being healthy, and that's why I wouldn't qualify him as the most dangerous player going into these playoffs. But make no mistake about it. I mean, if LeBron James goes out there and he shows that he's capable of running, jumping, cutting, and planting all of those different things, then yeah, nobody's going to want to see the Lakers. Nobody's going to want to see LeBron, especially those teams at the top of the Western Conference in a long series.
Second there, we were the Hunters. Then we turned into the Hunted for 5-6 years, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And now
we're back. We hunting again.
And, you know,
you like it.
That's always a fun position to be in when you hunting, going after everybody else. So
yeah, take their heads off.
He has experienced both.
Take their heads off, Draymond. I'm with you. I'm rolling with you, player. Y'all hunting, so everybody think it's sweet. The baby Warriors. Shoot their ass on the face, Steph Curry.
But I love hunting. That's fun. Earlier in the season, we were so Steph heavy. You know, everything had to be Steph, and if Steph couldn't get it going, we were kind of done. You know, we moved the ball tonight. We didn't shoot great, but we hit the shots when they mattered.
We're a totally different team now than we were at the beginning of the year. I feel like we're only getting better.
I can see y'all improvement. Y'all did a whole different level of change.
All right, bring back Big Perk. Perk, I want to start with you. Should the West be worried about Golden State? Like, what teams, what matchups are they going to give problems to?
The fuck?
Molly, should teams be worried? Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Yes. And here's why. And if anybody disagree, they haven't been watching the game of basketball, okay? Golden State are winners of 7 out of their last 8. And when you look at them, they have identity on both ends of the floor. They have a defensive identity. Mm-hmm. And with Draymond Green anchoring the defense, one of the best defensive players in the game today, could possibly win the Defensive Player of the Year award. You have Andrew Wiggins, who have now become a two-way player, who don't have to be the number 1 pick. And did you watch the game last night against the Phoenix Suns, the number 2 team in the Western Conference, when Steph Curry went 1 for 11 from 3, 7 for 22 from the field? Andrew Wiggins had a 38-piece wing dinner, teriyaki style. He went to work. He has that confidence because of the culture of Golden State and the leadership of Draymond Green and Steph Curry. So, yes, I'm looking at the top of the Western Conference. The Utah Jazz are not healthy. We don't know when Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley is coming back. Phoenix Suns, I just alliterated to, are looking shaky. And the Clippers are looking funny in the light as well. So, yes, the West should be worried about the Golden State Warriors.
No, they shouldn't. I mean, I'll respect the Golden State because I don't disagree with those points, Perk, which is why if it was a one and done tournament, then I'd be like, oh, watch out. They could win the whole thing in a one and done tournament. But in a best of 7 series, there are too many repetitions, and it matters how your team, for example, shoots. Now, Wiggins, you mentioned, turned into a two-way player. Also shot the ball way better than I thought he shot the ball this year. But
okay, guys, he replacing Klay Thompson. What the fuck y'all think he's supposed to be doing?
He a consistent number 2 scorer that you can rely on in the playoffs. We don't know that. We have not seen that. And in fact, while the Warriors are peaking at the right time, this is not the NFL. Like, I think that matters much more in the NFL, the hotter team, the healthier team. In the NBA, because of the best of 7 series, when it comes down to it, really just the roster construction, how many guys you can really rely on is what it's going to be about. Yes, the Suns have looked bad recently, but there are two guys on the Suns that can absolutely kill you, and a bunch of role players who fit very nicely and can shoot the ball. Other than the greatest shooter ever in Steph Curry, they don't really have enough shooting on this team.
So what the fuck you saying, Max?
Or the Suns, and that's who they're going to be seeing in a 7-game series if they wind up getting out of the play-in, which I think they have a very good chance to do. They will be one and done. They make it to the first round, but not past that.
Now, what if they make it past that? You was a rapper. I'm starting to take your credibility away from your ass. Was you a rapper? What the fuck? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, Big Perk, I got to agree with Max on this one, man. And you know I hate to do that, but I just don't think the Warriors have enough firepower offensively to be able to win out in a long series against any of those teams in the Western Conference. You saw a little bit of a preview on what teams at the top of that Western Conference are going to do when they're trying to defend the Golden State Warriors. They're going to shadow Steph with 2 guys, and they're going to cut everybody else loose. And Andrew Wiggins got busy last night, but I don't trust that he's going to be able to do that over a 7-game series enough to be able to make the difference in Golden State.
He wide open. What the fuck?
No
like that's like a black.
I just don't trust it.
It's like a dark-skinned Klay Thompson. He wide the fuck open. Like, just practice. Like, you just shoot that shit. I don't give a fuck if you miss. Just shoot it. You open. You just wide the fuck open. You open like a 7-Eleven. You open like ain't no people in the line. You open more than an express line with no people in it. And the cashier's just like, hey, can I help you next? Come on. The fuck?
I haven't seen enough of him being able to take control of games like he did last night. And quite frankly, as much as I love what Steph has done since the beginning of April, I just don't think he's going to be able to put this team on his back and carry him, especially when you're going up against teams that defend as well as the Utah Jazz do. And with the Phoenix Suns and Chris Paul and Devin Booker, to Max's point, I just feel like those guys are too good not to figure it out against this version of the Warriors.
Well, first of all, let me tell y'all why y'all both are wrong right now. And I came on here and I said I was going to be calm and cool today, but I can't help it. When you look at Andrew Wiggins, the reason that I'm saying he's going to flourish well in this system and in the playoffs is because it's all about culture. He's never been on a team like this. He's never had bets like this. He's never had a guy like Draymond Green to put a key in his back and keep him going. And when you talk about the lack of shooting, right, and the lack of offensive firepower that the Golden State Warriors has, that's irrelevant because Steph Curry is offense. He is offense. We're talking about the league leading scorer, a guy that could put up 60 piece on you in his sleep. And you talk about shadowing him, Candy. And listen, I respect your basketball knowledge, but what does Steph Curry do well that is better than any other player, point guard in the league? He moves well without the ball. He has the quickest release in basketball.
This being said,
block his shot. He moves, he's sneaky. And Draymond Green.
We'll be back with another one. It's your boy Moolah. This week at that 5. And I'll hit you with another one.